Hi everybody, this is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. Well, it goes from one thing to the next. We had a month-long drought, just extreme heat. The sun was something. The sun just beat down on us for a month. Rainstorms came and went in our area, but never over my house. It was terrible. And I've talked about that in the last few videos, and I lost some crops. I lost some corn, one stand of corn that I had. One stand made it, but that was only because it was an early corn that I had planted earlier, and it was set ears and all before all this got really bad. But the other stand of corn, just complete loss. My cowpeas did bad too. So, what do? You just try to salvage. I spent a whole week, and I showed that on one of my videos, of working in this upper garden and trying to just get past it, mentally get past the heat, the exhaustion, the effect of just watching my work fizzle. I had done a lot of work even from last fall, and it just seemed to be pointless there for a while. Weeds were taking over, plants were just so stressed, and didn't seem like no matter what I did, it was bad. So that being said, gardening is that way. It happens, but I'm trying to pick up the pieces and move on. And so in this upper garden, which I do believe might be the only garden I'm really going to focus on right now, I think I'm going to let the lower garden and Richard's garden lie right now. Richard's garden for sure, I think I'm just going to disc it up and let it rest. I may just not try to do that plot anymore because it's so far from my house. I was having water pressure issues of getting the sprinklers and everything to work over there. I just don't know that I can fight that right now. There's not enough Lainey for 3 gardens right now. I was really wanting to try though to keep that garden going, but I don't know if I can. The lower garden is right here by my upper garden. It's a little more manageable for me, but for this fall, I probably am not going to plant anything out there. If I do, it may just be a little, say 3 rows of corn that are only 10 or 15 foot long each row. I may do that, but I think I'm gonna disassemble it, chop and drop, and then run my tractor and disc over it and plant a cover crop out there. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan right now, and we'll just see. It may change. Things can change all the time as I get energy, as I get a little more momentum sometimes, but that's the plan right now. This upper garden is gonna be my focus for now and for the fall. And what I have decided to do is plant cowpeas for now. I'm gonna plant more okra, and then I will roll in as some of these items that are taking 60 or 70 days to come to fruition, these cowpeas and the okra. After that, I will roll in with greens, collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens. I'll roll in with those later. We don't have to plant those in South Louisiana until more towards the fall. It just doesn't do any good to plant them July, August, September. It's still just so hot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll in with those. I am gonna try to have some fall tomatoes if I can get some more started under my grow lights. And I really would like to put in just some more potatoes if I can manage that. But I've got to figure it all out. But last night I sat down at my computer and I pulled up the graph from my spring garden of the upper garden, and I sat there and deleted things that I had planted in the spring, and I added things for this fall, and I kind of have it mapped out in my mind right now. That's kind of how I have to do it. I wish I could just swing from the seat of my pants and just kind of grow a lot of different things together and have one of these gardens that's kind of like a cottage garden where there's just everything everywhere. But you have to know yourself, and my mind cannot work that way. My mind just to stay organized and to be able to tell people what I'm going to have and about how much I think I might have, and to be able to know what I can sell, I just have to have a little organization. A lot of things just have to be in straight rows. That's just how I work. But I think there's so many beautiful gardens out there, and I think there's so many different ways to garden, and I just commend everybody that can just get out there and get things to grow. In my mind though, I kind of have to have organization and planning to it. And does that always mean you're gonna have a great garden? Well, no, this spring showed it. But I'm going to be thankful for the things I got. I did get a lot of tomatoes, a lot of squash, a lot of zucchini, lots of cucumbers, still getting cucumbers, a lot of peppers, actually more peppers than I knew what to do with. And I've never really had luck with peppers before. And they were like gangbusters this year. So I'm going to be happy for the things I got. And then I'm just going to roll on into the fall. Let me show you what I'm doing right now. This row right here, I'm sitting on my little stool. I've weeded it from that pole, which is the end, where that squash plant is. I've weeded right here, but I have another, say 40 feet to go, maybe 35 feet to go. And it's really not bad because it has rained. The weeds are coming out really easy. So I'm just gonna set a goal to maybe get that done tonight. And then I'm gonna come back and plant those rattlesnake pole beans. Rattlesnake pole beans are very, very prolific. I've only grown them once, but they impressed me. So I want to go with something that may not disappoint me right now. I've had enough disappointments in the spring 22 garden, and I just want some old reliables right now. So that's what I'm going to do in this spot. I've got these okra plants planted all the way down this row, all the way to the end. You see them. And this is Perkins long green okra. I'm pretty sure that's what I planted here. I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure that's what I planted here. What I'm going to do though is at the end of this row, I planted some choppy okra. I just have a feeling that this okra is going to do really good. I just do. These plants are a lot younger than these plants. Now, of course, these plants over here were half covered up by my purple hull peas. They weren't getting the sunlight they needed, and they were a little leggy and all when I let them out, and I pulled those peas out and let them have the sun. So that being said, they're catching up. I think they'll do okay, and I am getting some okra off of them. But these I planted a lot later, and they're just pushing out and looking so healthy. And I have little pods under there already coming on, and I'm excited. So I got out my choppy okra seeds. I think I'm going to put a few more. I have muddy hands. I'm going to put a few more right here. And then I think I'm going to come to this row here. It's got my Italian heirloom tomatoes still here, and I still have some tomatoes on these bushes, so I'm just going to leave them. But I think I may put some choppy okra in these bare spots, basically like there, basically anywhere that I can stick it. I have this bare spot here before you get to my bullnose bell peppers. I had pulled up my tomatillo the other day, so I thought to myself, I'll just put more choppy okra here, just really kind of filling in with it, just filling in. I've got little spots like this. This is row 2. That's my Satsuma long eggplants that are actually still doing pretty good. They've got lots of blooms on them right now. I just got through picking all the eggplants, so there's none on here right now. But they are blooming out like crazy since I did that weeding. But I've got some vacant spots here around these peppers, and I'm still wondering what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to just load up on okra and really put a lot of bags of okra that people can buy. I might just do that. Okra just loves heat, and I need things that love heat. So I might just do that. I might just go ahead and plant the okra in every spot that I can on these rows. I'm going to jump across this row right now, and I just showed you all the okra that's already growing here, this Perkins long green okra. But it's pretty much growing to this side of the row. This side was where the purple hull peas were. So what I did a couple of days ago was I came through here and planted zucchini, dark green zucchini, down this side of the row. I didn't do it very close. I left about 3 feet between the plants, but I did it all the way down, just all the way down the row. So we'll see. It says on my packet that in my zone, I can plant zucchini all the way till August. I don't know. I don't know if the heat's going to let them grow and thrive, but I did it. On my squash row, I'm trying my best to just save what I can of these squash. But I'm sure this rain will cause a lot of the mold issues that I had before. A lot of the just spores that seem to grow on it. But I have little squash, so there again, I don't want to give up on them. They don't look beautiful, but I don't want to give up on them. But what I did was I came and planted down the middle about every 2.5 feet, all the way to that little pole that's right there. I planted some Sebring squash. It's a yellow hybrid squash, and I got the seeds from Twilly and Company. So I'm thinking a hybrid seed right now rather than an heirloom. Might have that gusto in it where they bred it to be hardy. I'm thinking that maybe if those will come up, if they do, I've never grown them before, but if they'll come up for me and thrive in the July coming heat, the August coming heat, because technically we can plant squash from April to August too. So I'm just going to see what happens. But if they'll come up and thrive, then I might have another yellow squash harvest. That section down there is going to be my second sowing. That was my second sowing of crookneck squash that's down there, and that's going to be my second sowing of the Sebring squash down there as well. I'm going to do that in about 10 days or so. This last row where I had hauled in my black organic soil, I've already planted some quick pick cowpeas here, 2 rows of quick pick peas, and I'm going to plant quick pick peas down here as well. So that'll give me, they're 20 feet long times 2 is 40 feet, but I have 2 rows of peas on each one, so that'll give me 80 feet of quick pick peas. I got the other peas planted before this bad rain today. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna plant the second set of seeds right now because I just think this soil is just too soggy right now. I have a lot of little volunteer beans that said, oh no, you know, when I put this black soil on there, they were like, oh no, we're coming up through that. So all of a sudden I've got these volunteer beans. Hey, I say when things volunteer, I say, come on, you can do it. I'm gonna walk to the lower garden to check on these little sugar cube cantaloupes that I had planted. I may not have even mentioned those because I didn't really realize they were gonna make it. They were part of the melons that I just thought weren't gonna make it in the beginning. They're in a big pile of weeds now. But anyway, the deer found them the other day. I've told y'all I was worried about deer finding my gardens over here. And right there is the scene of the crime. I came out here the other day and one of my melons was eaten up and gone. But I've got one there and one there. I was coming to look at that one. It's got netting all over it, but it hasn't turned tan yet. They turn tan right before they're ready. So I was just seeing if it was ready so that, because we've run out at the house and I could have picked it for my husband if it was ready. I don't really want to pick it right after a rain, but we were completely out, but it's not ready. These black diamond melons, I'm pretty much writing them off. I picked one the other day and I thought it was ready, but it was nowhere near ready. A bigger one like that right now, maybe it's turned, I don't know. But some of them are just not doing anything. And a couple of them, I checked these yesterday because they were turning yellow and they're rotting. So I need to just call it quits, I think, this year with all my melons. The Wilson sweets that I had growing in the other garden, I had to just kind of harvest what I could of those, and a few of them were kind of okay, so I saved seeds. But as a whole, none of them were what I would want to sell to somebody. I did give a few away. Aha, let me show you something. This is the last of the black diamonds. Aha, here we go. This is what I'm finding. This is what I'm finding. That right there is a little melon I was trying to grow. There's one in the grass right there as well. I was trying to grow those. They're called Esperanza d'Oro melons. I got the seeds from Native Seed Search, and they're supposed to grow in really, really hot climates. So I thought, hey, I got that. And I wanted to try to grow them, but I came out here yesterday. There's the second one there. So far not touched, but I came out here yesterday and that one there was still whole. It was still intact, but it had been nibbled on. So today they got after it. And I guarantee you, if I come back out here tomorrow, that part there will be gone. So I'm looking around, because you know I'm a deer tracker now. I'm looking around and I don't really see any hoof prints. But if this happened last night, it wasn't as wet out here last night. It's gotten terribly wet today because we've had rain just about all day. I don't see any hoof prints, but look out here in all this mud. Just seems like I would be seeing hoof prints, but I'm not. But that's the way of it. That's what's been happening to all my melons. Makes me wonder why they don't want these black diamonds. They just seem to want all my cantaloupes. But I tell you what, between the deer, the heat, the flash drought, and now this rain that is so wet, it's just so wet. Between it all, this gardening season has been something else. I try to always find something to be happy about though. I try to always find something that's just lovely out here and something that's just makes it worth walking out here to look. Things like these flowers. This is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. I hope your garden's going good. I hope everything's growing great and you're getting a lot of things to harvest. Y'all have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.